All right, welcome to day 2 of the Coin Op Classic 2024. I'm LRock617, and I do not know why this thing keeps inserting a credit whenever I pan away from the window. Give me a second. Kill that. I think I know what's happening. I think my I have a blanket on my legs, and I think it's hitting the coin button, which is on top of the stick. Anyway, I'm LRock617. Going to be kicking off this fabulous beat 'em up block we have. I'm actually going to boot this down and reboot it. This thing is being annoying. All right, there we go. Even after the reset, it was keeping credits inserted, and I didn't want that. All right, so today I'm going to be kicking us off with one of the all-time classics in Golden Axe. Oh, it's the credits are still there. Cool. Let me bleed these real quick. Okay. All right. Anyway, I actually ran this in a previous Coin Op Classic. I unfortunately, per the YouTube VOD, couldn't tell what year. It was either 2019 or 2020. And for that event, I ran it with the best character, that being Tiras, and it was a clear. So I was really happy with that run. Today, I'm going to be using the second best character, an Axe Battler. As you can see, our notorious title-themed character. He's definitely the average character of the game. There are some strats he can utilize that Tiras is better off not utilizing, which make the run kind of interesting. She's still overall better because her magic fully leveled is ridiculous. It's very, very strong. But because it requires non-bottles to max out and not 6, we just don't get to use it that quite as often. So we'll go ahead and pop this in. Pick our boy. That suave necklace he's got on. Here's our boy Alex. Sacrifice for our sins. So, I believe it was Murphigator that once referred to Golden Axe as a quick and dirty, and I think that's about the best way to describe it in terms of like just how beat 'em ups are in arcade vernacular. It's really simple as a concept. The gameplay is not super complicated. You only do a few things and that are done well. Okay, I thought you were gone, but oh my gosh. So one thing I like doing with any of my characters is doing the 2-hit combo and a turn back attack, because the 3rd hit of a string is not particularly good, but back attack is very good. We'll take that guy out. That's unfortunate, I mistimed that dash. All right, you go. So that's our first example of a mount, but we won't be using it. Cockatrice is kind of whatever. So how we're gonna close out stage 1 is we're actually gonna max out our bottles. Come here, you. Okay, not fun anymore. Thank you. We're just gonna walk our way past these enemies onto our boss segment. Fire off the splitting earth. And I love how the hostage actually survives all that. You know, good on him. Which leaves our 2 goony bosses here down to very little HP. I think we take them out with 2 shoulder tackles. Yep, I was right. And there's no reason not to do that because you maxed out your bottles in stage 1 and you're gonna get enough to utilize it again the next time you're gonna use it, which is the end of stage 2, so we're all set there. Thank you all for the GLs. All right, on to Turtle Village. I don't speedrun this game, but there are a couple of speed strats that I utilize in this stage that I really enjoy. See if I can set this guy up against the wall. Do the same with this goon. Sweet. Speed strat number 1. Let this guy dash at me. Okay, not quite, but that's okay. He's supposed to fall right off the ledge, but the backup strat is just doing what I just did there. It's pretty useful. Give me that. Okay, here's our first mount we're actually going to use. Blue Dragon is quite good. I don't know how that missed, but here we are. Breath Weapon is just completely bonkers. It has ridiculous range, does really, really strong damage, and you can more or less spam it. Let's give us 5 bottles. Boss segment starts off with some of these Valkyries, which is an enemy we're introduced to in this stage, which there's not really anything discerning about them compared to other enemies. So we'll go ahead and fire off our magic. Sunder the earth. We get another dragon, we're not going to use it. And here's the actual boss. This will be a recurring enemy. These skeletons are... I'm not going to be honest, if you don't have a mouth, skeletons are consistently a problem. We're able to take that guy out in 3 shots. Okay, so didn't talk about the bonus stages, but I'll go ahead and do that now. At the end of each stage, except for the last stage, of course, you get to recover items such as bottles, health, with those thieves that appear. This one's a little tricky. I'm gonna start off here. Thanks, I missed a dash. That's always fun. There we go. Dash inputs in this game are kind of strict. You have to hold the second forward to be able to initiate it, and I won't lie, I've missed it a number of times because sometimes that second forward just doesn't get implemented correctly. That's on me. It was only a little bit greedy, but just greedy enough for that to not pay off. So here we have Red Dragon, which for my money is the best mount in the game. Really strong. It just spams Hadoukens right in everybody's face. We're gonna jump across that, over there. And you can see you actually have full bottles now. We're gonna spawn a refight, stage 1 boss. I should take him off screen. Okay, so I was a little slow here. Normally I want to get those guys as they're coming right out the door, but I was a little slow. I decided to play safe. Since we got full bottles, we're gonna move on to our bosses. Let these thieves chase us. What? Guess the cooldown period wasn't over. So we're gonna launch our magic. Our third boss appears, but we get to do a lot of damage to him right away. And we get to reinsure some of these bottles, which is really nice. Don't want. Okay, I'm gonna try and flank myself between these two guys. Very good, okay. And unfortunately, that's the last we see of the Red Dragon. We'll never see it again. Another quick bonus stage, gonna get our bottles back. I definitely want some health. I took some very unnecessary hits up to this point. Okay, so stage 4, to me, is honestly one of the gatekeepers of this game. I don't think it's the hardest stage. I think stage 5 probably has that that distinction. But this stage does have some choke points. So I'm gonna try and not let that happen. That was risky, but it paid off. There we go. So, quick trivial fact, when a practice runner this week, I actually died at this segment. Because I did something I've always done, and this time it didn't work, and I got killed. I used to dash attack against that guy as he was coming in, and on a practice run a couple days ago that was offline, he actually dodged it. And that's the first time in probably 51 CCs of this game that he's done that. So I was like, okay, we don't do that anymore. Thankfully, that's mean. Thankfully, doing the jump slash mash has the same result, and it's a lot safer. Normally be able to get this guy against the corner, but he decided to act up, so we won't be doing that. I'm actually gonna ignore this thief. We can't obtain any more bottles, and we're not gonna be able to use any surplus, so I'm gonna just start off our last wave of enemies. Unfortunate that I missed that. Guess I'll play safe. Imagine. Okay, yeah, just bump it back up there. There we go. Okay. So, this boss wave of enemies looks just like the other enemies we've seen, except they're made of granite, which means they have the same moveset, essentially the same priority and damage, but they also have a lot more health. So I kind of have to seesaw here a little bit for maximum safety. Quick thing, you really want to make sure that your charges are lined up against enemies in this game. If you miss a charge, or if they initiate charge before you, you get whiff punished, and that's really bad. Like there, I was just a little bit too lazy. Just trying to keep me out on the guy on the left. So let's move on to our actual boss segment. Spawn this guy, a couple skeletons, it's under the earth. That takes them out. And I got a couple more guys to deal with here. Again, shoulder tackle is our friend here. Unfortunately, interrupted that. Skeletons, when you have to fight a mono-e-mono, are really strong. I actually just learned today they have a back attack, and their back attack is really good. Essentially, you just want to get them to line up with you, and they do have good walk speed, but we were able to take them out. Okay. Play that safe after that hit. Alright, last bonus stage for our last stage. I'm gonna take 2 bottles from you. Take 1 flag from you. Alright, that'll finish that off. On to our last stage. So there's a number of things that need to go right here. First of all, I'm going to take care of him because I don't have to deal with him right now. We'll wait until he moved down. Okay, cool. Did the job for me. Takes care of that. Believe it or not, that's actually pretty easy to mess up. I also love the bird just staring us in the back there. Got our mount that's gonna hopefully define the rest of the stage for us. Blue Dragon is very serviceable here. We don't need it to finish the game, but it's gonna make a lot of otherwise difficult parts a lot easier. I'm just gonna stagger enemies in here. I don't want a ton of enemies at once. These three guys all spawn at the same time, so we can't prevent that. Unfortunate. I thought I'd have that. I'm gonna do a lot of stick and move here, because if any of them charge me while I'm trying to take out another guy, they're probably gonna hit me, and I don't want that. Got our stage 3 refight. Just as before, Dragon's really good here. Okay, nice dodge. A little dodgy here. Pun intended. No. You see, these guys have excellent range. We don't want to get bodied by that. Okay, one more, I think. There we go. Okay, so for the last boss fight, first of all, the music here rules, so get out your sour pleases. I'm gonna take 3 bottles with me. Waltz our way towards our first group of enemies. Get them against the wall. Oh, I thought it was early. Nice. Okay, cool. We got him taken care of before the skeleton showed up. Would have liked to have some more bottles, but this is okay. So this fight's tricky, just because skeletons and multiples are really scary to fight. And of course you have Death Adder, who has maybe the best attack in the game, and that's Shockwave. I've been hit a few too many times. One more hit and I'd probably lose the dragon, so I'd rather that not happen. I'm gonna take out one of these dragons before I unleash magic. Actually, let's go ahead and do it now. Getting a little dicey. Takes them out. We've got one more skeleton we gotta deal with. Shockwave has tracking. I don't want to get hit by that. Really? Nice Z-axis. Yeah, that happens sometimes. All right, I got a little bit of a harder fight to deal with here now that I don't have my mount. That was supposed to be a dash attack, but okay. Once I get rid of the skeleton, this will be easy breezy. Of course, I missed a dash input. Miss another one. Okay, cool. So without mount, we have to resort to this. Jumping slash smash is really good. Just pin Death Adder against the wall. Do an unblockable on his wake up. Just create a wave of hitboxes he can't deal with. And that'll be a no miss. Rescued the patriarchy and the matriarchy. Whew. That final boss segment can have some real clinch moments, especially if you lose the mounts. Once the dragon's gone, like, you have a lot of stuff you have to put up with. But we got there, and thank you all for the GGs. I also love this ending. This is one of my favorite arcade endings. You got these poor kids who are just having a fun time playing Great Axe, and all the enemies and mounts just spawn out and go berserk. Also, I'm told Hikari Sweat is actually a product. I've never been to Japan, so I wouldn't know. But there we have it for those that are familiar. This ending theme slaps. It's so good. Like, I can't watch this ending and not have a smile on my face. Dun, 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 dun. Whew. Jeez. This game definitely gave me the sweats. I did not have good practice runs with this game. But I featured it a couple weeks ago for Kentucky Fried Coin Ops, and I know mess with 2 characters, including Axe, so that set me on the right path, but then the practice runs not so much. Also, if you're ever playing this game for score, my recommendation is don't. Getting optimal score attack in this game is difficult, to put it mildly. Anyway, that's gonna clear us out for our first game. I'm gonna be loading up the MVC collection for Punisher, and I'll see you all again shortly.